Welcome. Would you like to introduce your name, course, and your year?
So my name is Harrison McIntosh. I'm from the MA Computer Animation course at Bournemouth University. And what was the last question, sorry?
So your year. So for you, you're basically a
Well,
grad.
it's only 1 year for me. 1 year for me.
So as in you finished university now, so you're just finishing off, right? As a
Yeah,
master.
so I'm about to finish in September.
Okay. So would you like to mention your hometown?
My hometown is actually Haverfordwest in Wales. So I'm quite a way away from here.
Okay. So could you remind us of the course you're taking?
So, as I said, it's the MA Computer Animation course. So we specialize in things such as modeling, texturing, or even just rigging and animation. Anything that is in that category, the students on our course can become.
So why did you choose your course?
Mainly because I wanted to improve my skills and get really ready for the industry. I felt that I needed a bit of time to improve and develop myself as well. Not just my skills, but my character before I jumped back into the industry. So that was the main reason, yeah.
And obviously, you've now, just to kind of make it easier for students who are watching, so you've done your bachelor's at University of Wales, and you've now
Yes,
come to Bournemouth University to do your master's. So
yes.
studying the 3-year course in Wales, what did you think of your course?
I thought the course was great. I think it gave me the basic skills that I needed to jump into this line of work. Although the one thing I would say is that we tend to specialize as we're learning. And so I think that while I was on the BA course, that was great because I was able to focus in animation. Then when I moved on to the master's course, I've been able to broaden my horizons a bit and finally sort of jump into areas that I might have been a bit more scared to have jumped into before, such as modeling and texturing, which usually I would never touch. But I would say both courses have given me something great to work with, definitely.
Okay. And what do you think of your master course?
The master's, I think, has been a nice refresher, definitely, because we've started from the ground up. When we've gone, okay, we're going to, with a clean slate, we're just going to start with the basics, and we're going to build up. And I think that having it just be contained to 1 year has also helped me to get to know everyone a bit quicker and to really sort of figure out what I want to do, rather than the 3 years of the BA where there was a lot of uncertainty, where I wasn't really sure, and I had a lot more time to play with. But the MA has also been great, definitely.
Okay. So did you come from a sixth form or college background?
So I came from a college background.
And,
It was an arts foundation at Pembrokeshire College, so in my hometown.
and what courses did you take in college? Or was it just that?
It was just the one. It was just the 1 year. The two years it was, where it was way more broad, where it gave you any arts from life drawing, stop motion, and a little bit of 3D. And I chose to focus more in 3D than once I moved on to BA.
And would you say doing that course helped you with your university journey?
Definitely. I think that even before the BA, it gave me a lot of artistic skills in general that you really need, and also things like communication skills. When I was back in school, I had a very complicated school journey because I moved to a different country. Whereas once I settled in the college, when you're with this sort of big group, I really got to know, and everyone was very different. I think that's an important thing that you'll find when you come to universities. you're meeting people of all sorts of different backgrounds, and you've never met someone like this before, but you're going to give it a go, and you're going to learn about them, and they're going to learn about you. And so college definitely gave me the skills to really branch out and explore that. Yeah.
Okay. And what would you say the best A-level slash subjects are for your course?
Anything art related, definitely. If you can get a diploma in art, that's great. It doesn't matter whether you're in sixth form or college, although I would suggest that college is better. But if you're doing a sixth form, I would take anything that's creative. So you're going to look at art, maybe music, things like, or even drama, because you're learning about poses and how the body works, which will later feed into if you're going to go into animation. You understand how people move, which is very important. So anything creative, I would say, any course that you can find that's creative. Yeah.
Okay. So your course was a 3-year course and then a master's degree, meaning you didn't take a placement year. But you
Yes.
mentioned, as previous to our conversation, you mentioned you did something personal that wasn't connected to the university. Could you tell us what that was?
So in between my second and third year, I went to a small studio in Cardiff called Hothcat Studio, and they were working on a TV show at the time called Shane the Chef. So what happened is they gave me a week there where I was given their rigs to play around with, and I didn't have to work on the show, but it was just so I could understand their rigs and the complex parts of that, and just to improve my skills while I was there and get some feedback from the actual animators who are working at the studio. So I did that for the week, and I think it was a great experience just to be in a work environment, for the first time, before I actually later went into a work environment. Yeah.
So if we go into Wales University, starting off with your bachelor's, could you tell us the best and worst thing, starting off with the worst, about studying at Wales University?
The best thing about the University of South Wales would be,
So if we
I
start
would
from
say, the worst.
negative,
Sorry. Okay. The worst would be, I'm trying to think now. I would say it's the restrictions to the tech there, right? Because they only give you a fixed amount of hours in the computer labs. So you have to leave when they say, and you can only go in when they say. There's also restrictions with library times, was certainly a lot tighter than Bournemouth University. And also, when you have to hire out equipment, you have to go through a lengthy process to get that equipment, which can be a bit annoying when you just want to get on with the project. Yeah, that's the worst thing.
And the best things?
The best things, I would say the lecturers. The lecturers really take the time to get to know you. That I still speak to them now and again now, even though I've left, even though it's been 2 years since I left there, they still keep in contact with me. I think that's definitely the highlight of being there. They really connect with you, and they really try to push your limits while also improving you, and really sort of molding you into a fine artist. They really want to push that. So it's been great. Yeah, that's definitely the top.
So could you tell us about where you live for your 3 years while at the Wales University? So your first year.
Yeah. So so most people I've heard, they're at their student sort of village or student accommodation, and then they move into a house for the second and third year. I actually didn't do that. So the way it is, or what it was for me, is there's accommodation right across the university, from the university. It's just a private apartment block, and it's for students. And what they do is they give you a discount if you stay there for the second and third year. So what I did is I simply stayed there for all 3 years. And it was also, well, the main thing was convenience. The fact that it's right across the street, it was such a time saver. You know, as I said, you're going to be working in the lab. So when you're bouncing back and forth from home and university, that's the best thing you could ask for, is literally just a walk across the street. It's fantastic. And it is right next to, this is a pretty good thing about the University of South Wales as well, is it is in the heart of Cardiff. So it is all right next to each other, where you've got the university, your accommodation, and the town centre, all connected right there. It's literally a 5-minute walk away. Yeah.
And then so you just stayed there the whole time?
Yeah, the full 3 years I was there. You get to know the staff there as well, and they're very, very good. And you know, it gives you everything from washing machines to post system, everything you could ask for. Yeah. It's all
So
good.
while in at your university, did you acquire any jobs?
I didn't because the course is so you know, both the BA and the MA are so time consuming. I would highly recommend you do not take a job. It would take up so much time and you know, it would distract you from your units. That I would say, if you're going to, if you need the money, work before you go to university, or which I did, do it in your summers. Do it in your summers. You know, take up I took a waitering job back at home. You know, just do that, earn some money there, and then at least you've got that money. You know, if you need some financial you know, benefits, you know, at least you've got that, you know, to back you up.
Yeah. So while at the university, did you join any societies?
Apart from the Animation Society, I think the first year I was looking into rugby, because I used to be a rugby player for my hometown, but I dropped out. I just simply didn't feel like I had the time. But I think that the sports and the other sorts of clubs they offer, you know, you can happily join any of them. I would recommend that as well. Is you want to have, you know, something as a hobby, you know, for your spare time. You know, don't be consumed by the course. You know, have a look around, see what there is. You know, and if there's something even if you just want to try it, just give it a go. You know, just give it a go. Yeah, so I did rugby and the Animation Society there. Yeah.
And can you tell us about your freshers?
I'm trying to think now. Fresh, so long ago. Freshers was interesting. Freshers was, it's a whole new world. You know, it's. Is there anything in particular about freshers you want to ask me?
Just your experience when it came.
Just experience. It's definitely a fun time. Definitely a fun time. You know, it's, you know, you get a couple of weeks out. You know, you're getting to know the city, and you know it's everything. It's a whole new world. You know, and I would take it. You know, grab onto it and just go. You know, see what's out there. You know, explore the city. See what you know, shops there are. You know, all this stuff, clubs, whatever. You know, really experience that the city life. You know, and appreciate it, especially if you're not from a city. You know, really go for it. It's definitely great. You know.
So if we go into Bournemouth University now, where you're studying your masters, can you tell us the best and worst things about studying at Bournemouth University?
Starting
off with the worst.
Yeah, let's start with the worst this time. The worst, I would say it's, let me think.
Is there anything bad? That's good too.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely very good. And if I had to pick something, it would be maybe just security. You just got to watch out sometimes, and be aware of your surroundings, because they're not always they're not always going to be there when you need them.
I don't know what you mean.
Just that I think that if I had to compare Cardiff to Bournemouth, I feel that maybe because, I don't know, Bournemouth's maybe a bit bigger. I feel that you have to be a little bit more aware. It's more like I would say, like when I go to London, for example, I have to sort of realize, right, you're in a different city,
Okay.
and stuff like that. Yeah, and I think just my experience with the security here, it hasn't been as good, I would say. I'm not saying it's bad, but I would just say, make sure you're watching out, and just be aware. That's all.
Is there any stories or experiences you can let us know, or would you prefer to keep it private?
It's there's only, I think, one story I can think of. It's a funny one, actually, which is that one day suddenly, we were leaving our lecture. It was all fine, and then suddenly we were being told, no, you need to stay inside. You need to stay inside.
Oh, the bomb threat.
Yes, this is the bomb thing, and if anyone, I don't know if you've spoken about this previously on the show, but this guy apparently was wearing a jacket that looked like a bomb vest, but it wasn't. It was just a running vest of some kind. But yeah, that's the only story I can really say. But it was such it just caught us out of nowhere. It was like, what? There's suddenly a bomb
The
threat.
reaction wasn't really it wasn't as great as it could have been. It was kind of just locked in.
No, yeah, I would say that's the big thing. Is we had no one was telling us what was going on. So suddenly you had people, getting near the windows, and even though they were saying, no, you shouldn't do that, because people were so curious, that was outweighing the worrying side. People were just more curious to find out what was going on. Thankfully, it was nothing. But, if it had been something,
could have been a different.
Who knows? It would have been a totally different story. So I would say that, that's what I mean about the security, is sometimes you have to think about things yourself, and just play it safe, play it safe. That's all.
And the best things?
Best things would be, I guess it's the opposite of USW, which is you've got unlimited time in the labs and everywhere for the most part. There's no, they do some checks. They just, they come around and say, hey, and, just make sure everything's fine. But apart from that, you're all good, And I think that another good thing is the campus feels more, I guess, lively, I would say. I think that, you've got different areas you can go to, so many different clubs on at the same time. And there's also the Dylan's Bar, which is a nice little, getaway. If you just want to, just a quick drink or meal with your mates, you've been in your class or lab all day, and you're just like, oh, I just want to break, with my mates. I don't want to go downtown, but I want to, just get away. Just go there. It's just 5 minutes away. Yeah, I would say those two things. Yeah, definitely.
And where did you live while at Bournemouth for your masters?
So I'm currently on the student village, which is right next door, which has been great. It's very different to the apartment building when I was at USW, but it's very, very similar. And it's just a nice little room that they've given me. I'm sharing this time with 3 other guys. And that has been an experience because I've had no ensuite bathroom. But I think I could say that we've done very well. We've all connected, and we're all on the same course. So that's another bonus. But I would say to anyone that's, getting ready for that sort of thing, sharing a bathroom with other people, just, try your best to get along. And hopefully if you do, that's great. I've had bad experiences previously where I wasn't in I didn't have to share the bathroom, but I had to share things like the kitchen, and it can be a nightmare, you know, it can be. But just talk to each other. That's the best thing to do. Try and talk. Yeah.
So if we go into the area, Bournemouth,
Mhm.
can you tell us about the Bournemouth nightlife?
Yeah, nightlife is very, very fun. Very, very fun. There's a lot more. I think there's a lot more clubs and things you can do down here, and a lot more bars. If I had to compare Bournemouth to Cardiff, I think you really get more of a. I think you. I don't know. Yeah. I would say you get more of a sort of party atmosphere down here. A really fun one. I've definitely got to say it was my first night down here. I think we went to can't even remember the name of it. It's in the town. It's in the town square. But it was just a total crazy, you know, good fun night where like I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought, well, you know, I've done this. I've been there. You know, and you know, I don't need to do this again. But I went out and it was a blast. It was absolutely crazy, but yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah.
And if we compare the two areas, what is the shops like in from your previous university to Bournemouth now? And is it got the same kind of shops where it's got the basics, or has it got a good variety of shops comparing the two?
I would say similar shops, but Cardiff has a benefit where it has a mall. It has the St David's Mall, which gives you a lot more stores, right? But that's not to say that Bournemouth. I think I would say Bournemouth has more unique stores, right? And it has a lot more smaller businesses and things you wouldn't find in Cardiff. Yeah, there's even in Winton, which is in between the town square and here. There's some really sweet little restaurants down there, which are just great, you know. And I think you're going to find more of that here than you would in Cardiff, even though there are some in Cardiff. I think So if I was to balance, you know, if I was to pick between the two, if I wanted more
maybe
general, yeah, stores that you know, the big names, go to Cardiff. If you want more unique stuff that you want to explore and find something sweet, definitely Bournemouth. Definitely Bournemouth.
So, could you tell us? You spoke about the way you found the Bournemouth area and kind of how you went around. Could you expand on that to do with your course?
So, to do with the course, I heard about it mainly through. There's a competition, just to let people know, called BFX, and it's a computer animation competition where they take, I think it's 8 teams, and for the summer you have to make an animation for a sort of company. It's usually for disabilities or things like that. It's a really good experience. And that is how I got to know not only some of my course mates, actually, we joined the same year, but also just to experience the area and things like the beach and stuff. Like, I got a taste of that through the competition, and I also heard about the course a bit more. Even though I'd heard about it previously, I got more of a feel for it because the BA and the MA are gonna have similar, things to them. So that's how I got to know the course a bit more. Yeah.
Okay. So, while at Bournemouth, you previously didn't get a job at your previous university, but did you get a job while at Bournemouth?
No, I didn't as well. It's, as I say, it's too time consuming. Although I think the benefit I did have is after I did my BA, I spent a year working in the industry. I worked on the His Dark Materials TV show for the BBC. And so I think that because I'd had that a little bit, that was the same as when I was in between my second and third years, where I was able to work, as a waiter. It's the same thing there, where I did a little bit of work and then I went to university the following year. So yeah, it's the same again, which is if you're going to work, do it in between. Don't do it on the course. You're not going to have enough time. Definitely not. Yeah.
And did you join any societies while at Bournemouth?
Yeah, I joined just a couple societies. There's a gaming society where they play board games or they play card games. I play a card game called Magic the Gathering, which is very, very popular. And then also there's an animation society here where they do things like life drawing and they watch films and all sorts like that. It's not the same as the course. It's way more relaxed, and you're spending time with the other years as well. If you're doing something like me, where you're an MA or maybe you're a first year, you're not going to know the other years. So it's a good way to sort of speak to the other years and just see what they're doing. Just see what they're doing. Make some connections. You never know. Make some friends. It's definitely great. And then with the gaming one, you're talking to people who aren't on courses similar to you. They could be doing a science course or anything like that, completely different and not related. But you have similar hobbies, so at least you're connecting through that. Yeah.
So, if we go into advice for first years, what general advice would you give for first year students about to go to university?
Let's see. I would say for first years, the first thing you want to do is, get to know your housemates first, because they're probably going to be in the same boat as you. They're not going to know the area. Or they might know the area if you get lucky, but most likely they're not going to know the area. They're not going to know much, right? So you've at least got, a couple friends that you're going to make through that, which is going to help you to speak to other people and get around and see. So I would definitely start with that, right? You need to speak to your housemates and whoever else. What else would I recommend for first years? It's mainly just getting to know the area. Like once you know the area, you're going to feel a lot more confident. You've moved away from home. So it's a whole new life. Get to know. This was funny as well. Is I got lost, right? I'm not kidding. I got lost on my second night here because I didn't know the bus. Yeah, at Bournemouth, right? Got completely lost. Just learn the bus routes. Just learn, find the websites. Go through the the websites and or that they offer you. Just learn it. At least you've got an idea then of where you want to go. And things like that. Yeah.
How did you get lost?
How did I get lost? I was running out of battery on my phone actually, but because I didn't know the buses then, I didn't know which ones were going to take me back to the village. So I just hopped on one. Yeah, I just hopped on one, was hoping for the best. And the guy was like, yeah, you've gone too far. So I hopped off in the middle of nowhere and was like, okay, it's 12 o'clock at night. Thankfully I got lucky. I spoke to some very nice people and they drove me back here. But I would totally recommend that you look, which buses are going to the square and back. Things like that. No, just general things. You want to make sure that you're safe. As well. That's going back to that. It's make sure that you're safe and that you're going to be fine. Anything. I got very, very lucky. Who knows? But definitely get cover yourself. Make sure you've got, even just an extra battery. I didn't have at that time, but I learned from that, and so I could say to you, make sure you're, when you're going out, make sure your phone is charged, you've got money, you've got your wallet or whatever, make sure you've got everything you could need. If you feel, because sometimes this happens, which you go out on a night, you feel like, I want to go home early, but you're not sure. Just if you want to go home, go home. Take it. Find the nearest taxi. Take it. If you're not confident in the buses, just take a taxi home. The best thing is that you get home safe, and it's all. Yeah, definitely.
So, what advice would you give to students about to study at the University of Wales?
For studying at USW, let me see. Well, take everything openly. All these different subjects that you're going to be learning. You know, if you go to the same course that I was on, I don't know if they've changed the name since. It was, I think, Computer Animation BA. That, you know, there's going to be a lot of new stuff, and they know as well that you're trying to learn the area and all this stuff, and you're trying to make friends. So they're going to go easy on you, you know, first few weeks or whatever. So just be open to everything, you know. Yeah, that's the best thing. Be open, even the subjects, you know, just see, you know, play around, see what you like. And then when you feel more confident, you're going, okay, I know what I want. Then, you know, go with that. Yeah.
And what advice would you give to students about to study your course?
For my course, I would say if you're more experienced like me than some of the other course mates, feel free to help them. You know, you're all starting off on the same page, and the best thing you can do is, well, for starters, you're not only helping, but you're getting to know them. So
Making friends.
Know, yeah, exactly. So, you know, get to know them. You know, give them advice. We still do it now. In fact, I've got people teaching me how to do things like modeling, texturing, because I'm uncertain about it. So you're going to find that as you go through the year, that's going to pay off. You know, your connections that you've built up. You know, it's gonna you know come back and and help you. So always be friendly and you know, help each other. If you're not like me and you've never done it, don't be scared of, you know, the difference between you and other people, because there, as I said, I don't know some things, and maybe you'll learn something that they don't know, and you're going to help them in the future. So be very open. You know, don't be scared. Everyone's, you know, going to, you know, be starting from the beginning. You know?
So you chose going to university over an apprenticeship / going right into work. Why did you make that choice?
I would say for my type of work, I think that the way that the industry is built, they expect you to go to university, mainly because it gives you all the basic skills that you're going to need at least for some sort of job in the animation industry. Whereas, I mean, if they did do an apprenticeship, I would say that might be, because I went to college, which is probably similar. I would say that could be a good way if they started doing apprenticeships for, you know, more animation jobs. That could be a solid way for you to learn instead, because you're actually in the studio environment. Whereas I would say with university, you're still around, you know, people your age. Whereas in the studio environment, you're with people who are they could be fresh like you, or they could be, you know, 20 years older, 30 years older. They've done this for however long. They've, you know, worked on multiple shows, while this could be your first show. But I think for me, why I went on the animation course as well, or to university instead of an apprenticeship, was also because it's a nice subtle way to introduce you to just, you know, adult life. You know, you're having to think about your finances more, your shopping, your washing, all these things that you might have taken for granted before are suddenly given to you, and you're going, oh, okay, I have all of this to do, and your course and stuff. And so I think that the time that you get on at university gives you a chance to balance. You know, you get to figure out those sorts of things in life. Whereas maybe with an apprenticeship, pardon, sorry?
I said, in a way, like grow up.
Yeah, pretty much. You are growing up. You're growing up. You're going from a teenager to an adult. You know, you're getting to know basic life skills, even cooking. You know, even things like that. You're starting. You know, you might have never cooked before you came to university. Whereas now it's like, okay, now you're going to have to do it because you know, mum and dad aren't here. It's up to you. But there's also, you know, you get independence with that. You do get independence. So don't take it as, even though I'm, you know, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, you know, but you're getting a lot of freedom to do what you want, freedom to cook what you want, do this, do that, go out when you want, so even though there's a lot, with chores and whatever else and work, there's also a huge amount that comes with that. It's a bit of responsibility, just responsibility.
And you were going to compare it to an apprenticeship?
Yeah, compare it to an apprenticeship. I don't know if maybe you're not ready then. If you're going, from college to an apprenticeship, you might not be quite ready to jump into that. Even though there could be a lot of benefits, there's also a lot of uncertainty. And if I was to go back in time and maybe do an apprenticeship myself, I don't know if I'd be ready. I don't know if I'd be 100% ready to take that.
An apprentice doing uni kind of prepares you in a way for life after in the real life work. Doing an apprenticeship kind of doesn't say you as well as university.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I think university really gives you the time to, grow up and develop as a person. You get time to do that. Well, as an apprenticeship, maybe you don't. So it's a hard choice if I was to pick one. Yeah.
Hey, so at this point, we let students have what I like to call a free-for-all, where you can say what you want about what you want and what you'd like. You could put your ads, you could put websites, you could give advice, you could tell a story, you could literally say what you want about what you want. The floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just mention what we're doing at the moment. So currently, I'm working on the master's project. So there's when you come onto an MA, you as I said, you start from fresh. So everyone does the same thing. It's sort of like a test where you're going through all the units again, and you're just you're ticking off the list. And then when you get to the end of the second term, they take that, they double check it. If it's all good, then they give you the proper master's project, which is, I think it's a 9-week group project where you just make whatever you want. As long as it fits in certain guidelines, you can make whatever you want. And I think at the moment we're working on a nice little animation, a 3-person team called A Rare Encounter, which is to do with an explorer who finds a very rare fox in the forest that he's been dying to see forever. And he fails to take the picture. And I'm not going to tell you anymore in case it ever comes out. Hopefully it will around September. But
if it does, we'll link in the description.
Yes, yeah, I will. I'll give you all my details. If you want to find some of my work, you can look up Harrison McIntosh on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just type in my name. Hopefully you'll find me. If not, you can always email me at harrisonmcintosh@hotmail.com. Feel free to contact me if you've got any questions, whether it's about university life or the course. It could be about a BA or an MA. Feel free to talk to me. Apart from that, I think that's it, really. So like, subscribe, and I'm plugged in.
Amazing. Thank you.